you are back again so that we can discuss episode 3. And now we can fully chat about all 3 episodes, anything that happened on all of them, because we were a little limited on the first, or I was limited on the first one with Nicolette, a little limited on the second one with you, because we didn't want to accidentally spoil anyone. But at this point, if you are watching this and you have not watched all 3 episodes in their entirety, what are you doing? You need to go watch those and come back. So, spoiler alerts galore. I'm really excited to break this episode down. I will let you know. I have 4 notes. I was so upset after the beginning of this episode that I almost turned it off entirely and almost wrote off the whole franchise as a whole. My first note just simply says, second murder, Rob C. Like a dagger to the heart. That one hurt.
Rest in peace, Rob.
R.I.P. R.I.P. He has now come out and let all of us know that he is not upset. He enjoyed his time, but we are mourning for him, okay? I did not expect, I really didn't, based on the list. So the list on episode 2, at the end of episode 2, the secret traitor gave a list of names, which included Monet Exchange, Tara Lipinski, Kristen, and Rob C. I thought it was going to be between Monet and Rob C. I didn't see a reason for Tara Lipinski or Kristen to be murdered at that time. What did you think?
Agreed. No, 1000%. Episode 1, a lot of people when they first were meeting were talking about how intimidated they are by the gamers. So it kind of felt like regardless of what happens, if a gamer is an option. And so when I say gamer in this situation, I mean like competition reality, period. So that includes Monet. So yeah, so I thought it was between Rob or Monet.
Yeah. And one thing that concerns me, because I agree with what you're saying, one thing that concerns me regarding that is, okay, we get rid of the gamers, and then what?
You're left with a bunch of housewives.
That don't know what that. And like we discussed this in our filming of the last YouTube video, it looks like that's the direction in which Bravo is wanting to go. And that's fine, but that is not something I'm interested in being a viewer of. And I don't know that gamers are going to want to continue. I think you're always going to have a gamer that's willing to play, probably a recent gamer. You're going to get somebody on the last season of Big Brother, or once their contract's over on the last season of Survivor. I don't know that you're going to get a Tony Velasco's level Survivor gamer, a Bob, the drag queen style of drag queen gamer. You're not going to get Boss and Rob again. Like, those are people you may not get when they know that they're going in there and it's just not a fair game anymore.
Agreed. I do think it is, at least this season, I think the picks for the Traitors very much influenced how the rest of the season is going to go. So, it is what it is, but I personally blame production for this.
Yeah, and so as a refresher, our Traitors are Rob Roush from Love Island, and then we have 2 housewives, Candace and Lisa Rinna. Um, I think putting 2 housewives in there, I mean, I get it. We've had more than one gamer before. I understand that, and it's also, I guess, time for housewives to get their lick back because they were targeted. Also, the only reason they were targeted is because Carolyn Weiger is an idiot, but move on from that.
We saw
Truly, I mean,
some last season.
seriously, I mean, Bob the drag queen also wanted to keep going after housewives too, so that was a big problem. On what, season 2, we saw the housewives really have a good run, and then people just wanted to target. They wanted to target gamers this season, so gamers kind of got their lick back last season, and now it's time for housewives to get their lick. So I get what they're doing. Um, it's just not the type of entertainment that you and I are interested in. So
Yeah, and if it was up to me, I would specifically cast, like, okay, so when we had Phaedra and Dan in the turret, I
Mhm.
thought that's
It
the
was
best
great.
season, I think. I think we
Mhm.
can all kind of agree on that. So I think you need a mixture. I think you need a housewife to protect the housewives as much as possible. You need a gamer that's gonna try to at least protect the gamers as much as possible. And I think you need the other, or whatever we're calling the people that are non-gamer, non-housewives. Like, you need someone from each main group so you don't have these huge targets like that. It could just to completely annihilate half the cast. And that's not always the most fun thing to watch.
If I had to pick 3 traitors, before watching, if I had to pick 3 traitors, I would have picked Candace. I would now change my mind from Candace, but I would have picked Candace, Mama Donna, because it's fun and people wanna see her, and she's the random, like, probably doesn't know anything, but she's cool and she'll probably be easy to get along with in the turret. And I would have picked, and I have a lot of trouble deciding which gamer, but I think I would either go with Ian or Tiffany. I would not go with Rob C. I think he would be better to be recruited after the fact.
I don't disagree with that, but from like a production standpoint, if I was like running the show and I want
Yeah,
like the big names and everything, and I want to do
you do with
as
Rob
much
C.
as I can for for the show, I
Yeah.
would have done Rob, especially after all of the Survivor 50 shenanigans.
Mhm.
Donna Kelsey, of course. And then Dorinda. You brought her back. I feel like you should have brought her back for like a reason.
Yeah, I said this to Nicolette on the first recording, but it showed me how little they give a fuck about Dorinda by the fact that they just let her enter regular. If they cared about the fact that she went this is what happened, I think. Oh, they loved her, she went out too soon, let's give Dorinda back to them. But they didn't care about her safety at all. They just cared about bringing her back. Everyone else has been brought in that they thought would go quickly was given some sort of safety, i.e. Derek Levasseur, i.e. Wes, i.e. Boston Rob, or they were not brought in initially, i.e., all of those people. And additionally, Kate, when she came back as a traitor and later, way late in the game. I
Mhm.
do disagree with bringing somebody in like mid game. I think that that's way too late to bring people in. Um, I just kind of think I don't think we're gonna get anybody coming in late though. I know that there was a little bit of rumors about Carson and a few others, but like I actually think this is it. Like I think the big twist I think was supposed to be the Red Trader.
And yeah, after watching the episodes, I agree. I think the big twist, the big thing of the season is the Red Trader, which is like kind of lame that we
And I think they
get to
spent
see
so much money probably on getting Mama Donna in there that they probably just don't have room in the budget to bring anybody.
it.
Yeah, so we see unfortunately Rob Sestino gets murdered, and it really sucked because he knew that the murder in plain sight was happening and he was actively trying to avoid it and stay clear of it. But because this murder in plain sight happened differently than any others, there was actually nothing he could have done to avoid it. It didn't even matter if he was in that Congo line or not.
No, I mean, the only thing that could have changed it is his physical location.
And I do wonder what would happen during a murder in plain sight if they are caught. Like, does the murder just not
Traitor.
does the murder just not happen? Does that person just get accused of being a traitor? Because at that point, who cares that they're accused because you're still murdering? Like, I am confused on what would happen in that instance. Like, had he walked in and seen Rob pulling those things out of there, what would have happened? I
I
don't
guess they just
know.
have to wait till the banishment to
I mean, a
bring
murder
that
in
to the
plain
table.
sight, wouldn't that mean that that person doesn't like they were murdered, but it was in plain sight, so no one saw it? If someone sees it happening, does that mean it doesn't happen? I think it's one of those things that production would just decide what they
I
wanted.
mean, I don't disagree.
Um, the other note that I did write down is that Tiffany was trying to side with Michael and Yam Yam. And that is a big topic we need to talk about on this one. Before that, I know you have better notes than me, so let's go in order.
Okay.
What happens? So after the unfortunate murdering, they all kind of get together and they're talking, and I think that's why I wrote that note because we start seeing Tiffany kind of, whispering a few things at breakfast to
Mhm.
Michael.
She's playing the game.
Um, Yeah, and so she's siding with Michael, but she's also siding with Yam Yam. Like, she's also wanting to be a gamer alliance, but she's gaming. A lot of people I have seen online are very disappointed in this about Tiffany. And the reason is because they do not like Michael Rappaport.
Mhm.
I want to stand 10 toes down that Tiffany is gaming. Tiffany knows that if you can't beat them, join them. She knows that Michael very openly shouted out that there are 5 gamers and 5 housewives, and that those groups need to be targeted. And then you see 2 gamers go, immediately Tiffany's like, okay, I got to get close to this guy. He's loud, he's obnoxious, and the last name that he says at the round table ends up going home twice now. I think, and she is trying to do it very secretly because she like pulled him off in that secret room, which seemed based on the editing to be so sketchy. But I think
I
she's,
wonder if people don't know that exists, like if they haven't seen the show before,
I have no idea. I don't even know how she knew, other than
because they
seeing the
did it
show.
last season, like the door specifically.
I think they must know because the way she was like, let's go to that room. Like, it was like he knew what room they were going to,
But he
you
didn't
know?
know how to open the door.
He didn't know how to open the door, no, and he didn't know how to, and then he didn't close it. She was like, "Close the door."
Yeah.
Um, she doesn't wanna be caught talking to him openly. So, I think but the risky part of this is, I will back other people up in saying that there is a risk to this, and the risk is if it is found out at all, she's screwed, and he's the type to run his mouth. So, she has to be damn sure that what she's telling him is staying between them. Um Now he's not running his mouth about secrets because nobody's really telling him secrets right now. So it could be that she becomes his only ally.
I mean, if he was a traitor, that's a great traitor angel strategy to be using. She's just using it
Yeah.
on the wrong person.
And
And
I don't know that she thinks he's a traitor. I don't think she thinks that. I think she's just wanting to keep him close.
I wonder if she initially did think he was a traitor because of just how large his name is, how big his name is.
Maybe. Yeah, so we see that happen. And then they leave breakfast, and rather than having a game, right? They move Isn't that where they move into, you wrote the notes on that part,
Yes.
so I was too
So
upset to keep taking notes, I think.
yeah, so after we find out the murder, we right after that we go into a round table instead of a challenge.
Which
And
is weird.
it's weird, but I have to say I think I liked it just because I was like at that point I was so upset that I was like get the show over with. I'm done. Like
Do
let's
you
just
think
get
that
someone
they
else
knew
out.
that do you think that they knew that we wouldn't wanna keep watching?
I
I
genuinely
don't know,
wonder.
like, I don't understand why they did it that way because, like, I don't know. I think that the whole, like, opening the boxes took so much time out of the edit that maybe they always had planned to do it this way because it's like they had to get everything into their 3 episodes for the launch. I don't know.
And
They
I
took a
feel
long time on that first episode to do all those secret traitor reveals.
and we didn't even get to end up seeing like everybody's reveal, did we?
No, I said that to Nicolette. I was like, "Well, I knew at least 5 or 6 people were not going to be the secret traitor at all based on the edit because they didn't even really they showed us their reaction quickly and moved on."
Yeah. But I did like the idea of going into it just so we can get this over with because at that point, I'm done, I'm over, whatever.
Mhm.
Let's just figure it out. So, we go into the round table, and I do have to say I did think it was cute. At one point during the round table discussion, Donna specifically mentions something being 92% of the time. That's a cute little shout out to her sons. Um,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, she is someone accused her of being a traitor, and her argument was, "Well, 92% of the time you blah, blah, blah. 92 percenters are Jason and, Travis's podcast fan name."
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
So cute little shout out there. Um, I have Johnny, Luigi wants his hat back. Please burn that hat immediately. Um And then I start questioning why Rappaport's getting so much airtime here.
Okay, so again, this is what I think. I think this is the direction they're moving. I think Rappaport, we are going to continue seeing this until he's gone. Another reason that I think that he is not lasting past mid-game. I think they're giving us every piece of the Rappaport drama. They want to encourage the housewives fighting. They want to show us all of that to keep the housewives viewing, give them what they've wanted, and then maybe the game will actually start. But this is what the housewife viewers want to see. We don't really like I love a round table argument when it's about the game.
When it's a logical, strategic argument, I'm so down. I can listen to that for hours.
I even love the
Where they
whole "you're a bitch, no, you're a bitch, you're a bitch, no, you're a bitch" from Janelle and Sandra. It was because the you're a bitch really had nothing to do with the game other than Janelle was just pissed because she was about to leave. But it was because she was pissed because she was about to leave. Michael Rappaport is literally just sparking sparks to spark. Like, I don't understand. It is so obvious to me. He is just the type of person that he is just going as soon as his name is brought up, as soon as anything, like the way he acted when he saw the coffin in his thing. What did he say? He called them, he said,
did he
"What
MF them?
miserable fucks did that?" Like, it's just like immediate jump on people when something he doesn't like happens. And I think we're just gonna keep seeing that from him. He's a miserable fuck. And he commented on one of my TikTok videos, and I don't know why, because people were literally in that comment. He commented and
I didn't know this.
great analysis. Wonderful analysis. He's like, good job. But people were literally like, one person specifically was like, I literally don't want to watch because of Michael.
I have to look this up immediate. I'm in my
Yeah,
notes right now. Look at
yeah.
video.
You're gonna have to go look. It's like one of my recent ones. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't specifically say anything about him because, like, I had the mentality of, like, I'm not gonna be actively talking about him. That's, like, not something I'm gonna do. But once the game starts, I will talk about his game if I need
mhm.
to. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to need to do that a lot.
I'm right there with you on the same page. I'm just like, again, is this the most entertaining thing that happened? Is this the most crucial information that us as viewers need to know or need to see? And like, it's not. At the end of the day, it's not. It's and anything that he said has nothing to do with how the votes ever actually turn out. So like, I guess at what point do they finally get rid of him?
Also, oh, I love Housewives. I do nothing but watch Housewives. The Housewives need to go.
Mhm.
He's a weirdo. Okay, well, the last note that I have in here of my 4 notes. Early roundtable before the mission, in parentheses. I'm tired of the twist. It's too much too soon. And then I just never took any more notes.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So anyways, I guess you can talk about the mission since I did not take notes on the mission.
Okay, so in the mission, let's see.
Oh, at the round table, I guess we didn't
Mhm.
say who went home.
Oh, yep.
So, at the round table, that is the round table where oh my gosh, what's their name?
Donna.
Yes, Donna goes home. When Donna goes home, I don't know how we skipped over this. When Donna goes home, she goes up to the okay, so, uh I forget who even brought up her name initially. But somebody finally was like, "It's Donna," and then everyone just really went with it, and she had an overwhelming I think only one person didn't vote for Donna, maybe 2 at the most. Which I am liking that we're realizing we need to vote together this year. We had big problems with that in the past. Um, so ultimately she's out. At this point, I was darn sure that she is the red traitor because of the second list. Before the second list, I was still holding out hope that it was maybe a gamer. Once I saw the second list, I knew it was Donna and it could be nobody but Donna. Her reaction when he showed the cards was very like it was sketch, and I couldn't tell if she was just playing into the role or if she was a traitor. So ultimately, she gets to go up to that little circle and they do the reveal. I was wondering if she would reveal herself as a traitor or not, though. I was wondering if the red traitor is eliminated, will they do like what happens? And she does. So she is the red traitor. She reveals herself as such. And honestly, in about 3 or 4 episodes, nobody will ever remember that she was on the show, and this was such a waste, and they should have, if they were gonna go with 3 non-gamers, I do firmly believe that the secret traitor should have been a gamer, and they could have let the secret traitor go around for longer, like, the gamer would have just what would have happened is if the gamer was a secret traitor, they would have given a list. It would have provided a list that made sense, and then all those other idiots can choose from it. Like,
Yep.
it would have furthered the game better for every viewer, in my opinion. But I'm obviously biased towards gamers.
I honestly, I think regardless, Donna was gonna be a traitor in any way,
Yeah,
if it was a traditional or the secret one. I do think she should have been an original
I think so too.
normal traitor, and I obviously, as a gamer girl, I think I would have liked it to be a gamer. If you're gonna keep the Housewives and Rob or Love Island or whatever, if you wanna keep those people in the turret plus Donna, make it have 5 traitors and then make a gamer the secret one.
I would have thought that.
10,000% agree.
I think Donna had zero protection as the secret traitor, and I think that these idiot of producers, I'm just kidding. I love you. Cast me for Trader season 5. I think these dumbass producers should have realized that this was a fuck ass twist and that it would provide her literally no safety. She has no connections out. She's like literally the only person other than Mara who's claiming to have no connections, but she does have a connection to Rob Roush. She literally has no connections with anybody else other than randomly Ron Funches. And I just think it made no sense to put her there because everyone would have immediately sniffed, unless they just didn't think that people would immediately sniff her out. We know we're not dumb. You cast her, she is not coming in as a non traitor. The biggest of casting choices always ends up being a traitor. Dan Giesling, Bob the Drag Queen. Like, you're going to have. Anyways,
Yeah.
it
Donna
was so
Kelsey is the Boston Rob
obvious.
of this season.
Right. It was so obvious that Boston Rob was a traitor. It is so obvious that Mama Donna's a traitor. And people immediately were catching on to that and they knew it. And I do wonder if that's why they rushed the round table. I've also wondered that if they were rushing the round table, hoping that Donna wouldn't go, and that because the whole Rappaport and Jam Jam thing, I was wondering if they tried to rush it for that to happen because Donna would have been revealed after that. Thus, the other traders would have known and could have kept her safe. I don't know. But either way, if she was a traditional trader, she would have had the safety of the other traders backing her up at the round table. Something else I fear, now that we have non-gamers as traders, who's going to do the backing up at the round table? And
Housewives.
how good, but
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be good, but I think
we
it's
don't
gonna be
have
Housewives.
Phaedra level housewives. I thought Candace was going to be a Phaedra level housewife, but she has proven me wrong. I'm worried.
I am right there with you, honestly. Funny enough, in my notes, I have they hit the Pentagon because as a
Yes.
gamer, I love my Ians, I love my Robs, and then I'm a Swiftie, and then you take Donna from me too. Like
Honestly, Donna
that's
could
on
go.
production.
Like, I was done. I was so done with Donna. I already had figured out that she was a stupid secret traitor. She wasn't even being entertaining. And that's back to what I was wanting to say on the last one. I think had she been a traditional traitor, she would have at least been herself. I
Yeah.
think she felt so isolated. And then she also was unsure who the traitors were. And she was like, I think had she been a traditional trader, she would have at least had 2 other people she could trust, and she would have been a yes man in the turret. I don't think she would have been okay with whatever. Also, somebody sent me a TikTok video just before I got on here, and I meant to talk to you about this. Was Donna not at the second challenge at all?
The second challenge,
Somebody
the
did a
chariot
TikTok
one?
video. Yeah. You never see Donna. They were like, "Did they just tell Donna
Interesting.
she could sit out of this because she's so old?" I mean, she is like 74. And she's not like what's his name at 74? The old little short Lord, not Lord Ivor, but the other guy, the politician guy. Like
Yeah.
he was keeping up, but like Donna is very frail.
That's interesting. I did not notice. I'm
We
gonna go
never
back and
saw
look
her.
now.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch it now because that person, like, they clipped it and they were like, we literally never see her. Anyways, but maybe it was that she never wanted to last the whole time. Maybe she,
Maybe she had prior commitments.
yeah, I don't know. But we also saw one of the housewives last year, or maybe it was the year before last. What was her name? Tamra. It was the year before last. She was on with Dan. Tamra just doesn't show up. And they were like, yeah, she's sick. And they never address, like, she's sick. You couldn't pause filming for a day. Like, that was sketchy. Like, I never understood that either. But no, I don't know. I was done with Donna. I could have been I was like, actually I'm happy she's gone. Like at this point she's not really bringing me anything and maybe there will be a recruit.
Interesting. I was wondering if they're gonna handle the secret trader situation now. Like, are they gonna have another one?
If it's a recruit, who should they recruit?
I mean, it if it's up to me, it's Tiffany.
Yeah. I think no matter what just trying to be non-biased, I do think they should recruit a gamer. I think that
Yeah.
that would be logical given the fact that there are two housewives in there. They're not going to be able to protect all the housewives, and I don't know that they realize that. I don't know that they realize that they need to now Portia already did go, but I
Mhm.
do think that I don't know that they're thinking about the fact that like it is obvious if we never because that housewife was gone not by a murder but by a banishment.
Yep.
And
So
I think if they do not murder a housewife next, it's not good. And I do think if they are given the option to recruit, it would be wise. I don't know. I think that they're dumb and they think that they have this in the bag, so they're not going to recruit a gamer, but I just think it would behoove them to recruit one gamer. But I think they're going to be scared because of what happened with stupid Boston Rob turning on like that
well,
was
I think Rob, Love Island Rob, I think he needs to be careful with keeping all these housewives because once the gamers are gone, who are they gonna come after next? You're the
Mhm.
next, like, physically active,
Mhm.
you're really quiet, like, it's already been brought up as being suspicious. I don't
I
think it's
fear that I'm
good
gonna
for
hate this
him.
whole season. I'm gonna hate this whole season. Okay, so what happened? So let's move into the challenge. So what are
Yeah,
your notes on the challenge? Because I did
yeah.
not take any.
Okay. So during the second challenge, everybody has to pair up. The only person that does not get a partner because there's an odd number of people is Ron. So Ron is automatically up for murder for
Mhm.
this episode. I didn't write down all of the pairings, but I do have notes that I love the Monet and Natalie pairing. I like that as just an alliance moving forward. But I like that pairing. Tiffany and Rappaport, they get together. Um,
Yeah, that concerned me.
I think Tiffany's using right strategy on the wrong person. But it is what it is. Uh, my notes in here in real time, I wrote, "Jam Jam, do not trust Steven. I am a Steven Coletti hater now."
I love Steven. I mean, I hate him, but also I love him. He is on my DTM list because of that. But honestly, Mama Donna is more on my DTM list.
Oh, she's the first person on my list.
That's another thing we didn't talk about is that clearly she's a housewife fan.
Yeah, she is a housewife fan. I have heard her speak about that. I think it was on Kylie Kelsey's podcast.
I
So
don't
she
think she's a gamer fan. And she did
not as much.
mention on one of the interviews I did see that she binged, I think with Jason, the first 3 seasons of The Traitors. So when they
Yeah,
called her, she was super excited about it. And so my thought is that she is siding with those housewife people and that gamers are dangerous and they have to go.
yeah.
And I think that production probably knew that. And they knew
I
that
don't
she was going to
disagree.
go after the gamers. I think the production wants the gamers to go.
And to be fair, after last season, I can't really hate them for that because last season was crazy and it was mostly because of gamers.
Because of
But
Carolyn, why did they like? She was the worst gamer to cast.
I was gonna say,
Seriously.
but I think it's a casting
Oh,
problem that
yes.
there's obviously a billion different types of gamers out there. Um,
The Boston Rob and Bob the Drag Queen thing was actually solid and funny and good TV and
yeah.
like the only problem with that was after that happened, Carolyn decided she was never going to trust any of the other traitors in the turret.
Mhm. And now I fear, as someone who
And she should have known who Danielle Reyes was, because Danielle Reyes doesn't actually turn on you. Like, once she decides, she decides. And she even came out and said, I wasn't really, until she started targeting me, I was good with her.
like, what do you do in that situation, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Anyway, so because of the challenge, the pairings, Ron ends up going up for murder. Can you remind me who else is up for murder now?
Um, let me see if I have that written down.
Or who has a shield,
So
whichever.
we have one of the pairings was Johnny and Eric. I know Eric is
Yeah.
for sure. Eric is for sure up for murder because Johnny was still gallivanting looking for skulls in the middle of the week. Kristen's another one that's up for murder. And then I don't have the other two written down actually.
Well, either way, I do hate that they're limiting who can potentially be murdered so much. They did this last season, but now they're doing it even more. And I do wonder if it's a way to control the episode count and everything, because like it's also very public who can be murdered and like who has a shield and who doesn't. And with that being the case, production can guarantee that the traitors don't mistakenly attempt to murder somebody with a shield, which that changes the dynamic of the show, because part of having a shield is being secretly safe, or it used to be, and now that's no longer the case. Now it's just you have safety.
I agree. I think there's too many, I don't know what you call it, like a safety advantage, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not a huge fan just because there's so many possibilities. If we had this completely open, man,
They don't want it to happen. They don't want it to be open, because I'm guessing they at least want the traders to know who is safe, because they do not want what, because I think it's only happened one other time, but that could change the end game, because now you've planned out all these episodes and you've planned how people. Now in the first season they probably, they filmed it maybe not having an exact episode count in mind. They may have, kind of had an idea but had flexibility. But now it's probably like these things have to fit into this many episodes, and the episodes have to air on these days, and
that's a really good point.
um but I don't know. But you could still accomplish that with only giving 3 shields, just make the shields public.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
I hate it.
I I'm right
Like
there with
this
you.
this season may take me out. It may take me out. I do have a lot of hopes for Tiffany still. I think if any of the gamers have any potential. Oh, the unfortunate thing is Rappaport is going to continue having his fights with Jam Jam. And Colton, I do believe, is intending on bringing up Tiffany's name.
I
So
was about to bring that up. Yep.
I do fear that our next round table, they will take out a gamer, because at this point, now, here's my, okay. I have a fear that they're going to go after Tiffany or Jam Jam. However, Tiffany and Jam Jam both have a leg to stand on in saying, hello, the Traitors keep murdering gamers, but never have murdered a housewife. Maybe you should consider that. Like,
Yep.
that is something that I think Tiffany needs to go ahead and start planting seeds with Rappaport, so that he can actively yell that out, and maybe a few other people. Because that's the only thing that can save them at this point, because it does make me worried that like whichever one of their names is mentioned last, everybody's gonna go with that.
I agree with that. I do think Colton, actually I have a lot of choice words for Colton after episode 3. Um, First one, put your cardigan all the way on, please. You look silly. Second,
His
um,
pearl tie was so ugly.
oh my God.
And when it started flapping, I was like, come on.
Yeah, so, Colton, I think he is gonna end up being a problem for Tiffany, at least from what we've
Yeah.
seen in his confessionals,
I think she'll
and
take him
maybe
out.
he's the I'm hoping, maybe he's the only person that's brought her name up, and that's, like, the only opportunity that they've had to kind of show her possibly being in danger, and they have to Like I'm being delusional. I'm being optimistic. I hope that's the case.
She hasn't gotten so much airtime that I am fearful, I
Mhm.
guess I should say. Jam Jam, on the other hand,
He's in a little bit of drama.
and he's gotten the airtime because of it, or has he gotten the airtime because he's going next? I don't know. Rappaport, I do wonder if the next episode they go after Jam Jam and then it doesn't work, and then they're like, okay, Rappaport, you're a traitor, and then they go after him next.
Honestly, I don't hate the idea of doing a sacrificial banishment just to get Rappaport out of the castle. I'm okay with it at this point.
Did you
Get
watch
him
the
out.
RHAP Q&A this week?
I haven't had a chance yet.
Pooya had to do it by himself, obviously, because Rob probably can't. So Pooya was like, yeah, these people, they're not realizing that like Rappaport is really taking up all the time. And like people think like, oh, this is great, he's a distraction, but it's also bad that he's a distraction because now we don't have time to properly discuss our options. And that's what's happening. We're getting one or two options for people to go with. I
It's
do
just
think Tiffany will be able to stand up for herself at the round table because like Donna doesn't even she was who was it that was like, Donna, could you at least like stand up for yourself? Like she wasn't even fighting for herself. I don't even remember, was it Monet? Somebody was like, you gonna back that up with anything? Like she wasn't even trying.
so if you are faithful though, and someone is coming at you or like, accusing you of being a traitor, how do you genuinely say like, I'm not? Like you can point the finger at other people, but I don't know if you can necessarily be like, I'm not. Like how else do I prove it?
I think it depends on how your name is brought up and
Mhm.
like if you have something else to throw out there. Like if you could be like, well, this person's obviously calling me out because I said this earlier and now they're coming at me, or I was on to them, or I
But
think
in
it
like
all
that
depends on
case, oh sorry.
yeah, I think it just all depends on how or why that person brought your name up.
Yeah, because like in that case, like Portia, she made the mistake of saying that
There wasn't
she
much she could do
like
because
there's
she
nothing
did
you can
do that.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This show, like, I'm trying to not. That's why I didn't even make a video about it the first night. I was like, I need to, like, I have nothing nice to say. So I
Yep.
need to, like, sit with my thoughts. I'm not happy right now. And I'm trying not to be a butthurt gamer because that's what all these other people want. Because they're all in my comments like, well, the gamers were terrible um, at the Traitors anyways. That's not true. I stand by the fact that the gamers are not bad at the Traitors. What's bad are the people they have to play with.
Mhm. I watched the Traitors specifically for the game, and I think it's not what everybody's watching it for,
No.
and I think there's some disconnect there.
But game can end up providing entertainment, i.e., last year with the whole Britney thing, I found all of that to be entertaining. But for whatever reason, the Housewives people, they don't. And they think it's like backstabbing and they like don't want to see the backstabbing.
And
That's entertaining to me.
you don't get more money, you don't get more brownie points by playing a more moral, by their
Well,
definition, game.
did you see the little turret moment where they put their hands in and vowed to stay together and not turn on each other? And that was clearly edited in to be like, yeah, we're gonna have a safe season.
It was a very kumbaya moment, and,
Oh
like, I don't know, maybe I'm evil, but, like, no, I'm not into that at all. I wanna see bloodshed, like, that it's literally a game about killing and murdering people at night, and then you don't wanna play, like, an evil game? Like, that's the fun of it.
no, they just cast people that are willing to like play into the character on like the edited moments. Like Lisa and Candace, they oh yes, give me my cloak. Like they play into it, but they're
Mhm.
not gaming into it.
Yeah,
They're not gaming at all, really.
that's what I fear. I
Now, the
fear
one moment that happened to work out was, yes, Rob was on to the murder in plain sight, and yes, they did happen to get him, but it was all circumstantial.
Mhm.
Like, it just happened to happen that way.
Yeah, and I
So,
think they were already gonna target gamers, like, that was kind of established in the first episode when
yeah.
everybody, not just the housewives, they were all talking about it, with being intimidated.
I do wonder
There's
at
always
this
something they can do.
point, one thing I do wonder, and I hope that we like, I'm gonna spending some time like trying to watch some of the like the postseason interviews and stuff. I know that Mike Bloom's interview with Ian has already come out. He hasn't posted his with Donna yet, and I'm wondering if Donna is giving her first interview to her sons. Like I wonder
Mm,
if she had contracted like her first interview is going to Jason and Travis or to Kylie.
it could make sense.
Maybe nobody will hear because like she hasn't even done like the little one-offs. Like Portia has been on an interview spree. Like I've seen plenty of interviews with Portia. Rob has been doing his with all of his gamer people, of course. But anyways, one thing I do wonder is what's the culture now? Like now they've gotten two gamers. I am wondering what everybody's thinking now. Is everybody thinking what they should be thinking? Okay, there couldn't possibly be a gamer in that turret now that two of us left. Or are they thinking gamers still have to go? I mean, rightfully, gamers are dangerous irregardless.
Yeah.
But if you're the housewives have proven to be dangerous when they stick together
And
because there's so
that's
many.
exactly what I'm afraid of because the housewives, and this is again, if they had like gaming strategy behind their moves, they could potentially take the there's four of them remaining, right? Um,
Yeah.
take the four remaining ones, pull a brigade, pull a cookout type
Hmm.
alliance, say, okay, here's my
Are
plus
they
one,
that
here's your
smart?
plus one. Oh, no, no, absolutely not. But what if we had someone like Tiffany that's like, hey, I have an idea.
She
Here we go.
could she could try and work with the housewives. But do you
Mhm.
think she will knowing that there's so many because she will never be able to get one of the housewives to solely side with her over another.
I don't well, the problem with it, if it would be Tiffany, it's not gonna benefit her as much as it would Renna or,
Right.
Candace. So but
Right.
if Candace and Renna were smart, like, girls, you could win the game right now. And
They
I
could.
like, at that point, I would be like, obviously, I watch the show and I'm upset right now because I'm such a gamer. If they could do that, I would become the biggest Lisa Renna stan,
But Rena,
but
okay,
it's not
look,
happening.
Rena's not even gaming at
No.
all.
No, I
She
feel like
made a few comments in her confessionals, and I was like, "But you're not act like what happens is though, the housewife fans see it and they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're gaming so good." That's not gaming. She's going a lot like Rob Roush has actually been doing the most proper gaming of a trader. Even Candace, she's tried to game, but she's kind of screwed up quite a bit with her statements. So,
agreed.
I
I
don't know.
I think out of the traders that we currently have, I think Candace is probably doing the worst job out of the 3 of them. Again, she's vocal and I don't like, girl, we
It's
gotta
gonna
wrap
keep
that up.
happening.
We
It's gonna
gotta
keep happening though, I think. I don't think she's
oh,
gonna stop.
I think it's just gonna get worse, if anything. Um, yeah,
And Jam Jam's gonna remember that she mentioned Lisa, and then she's gonna later defend Lisa, and then it's gonna be weird, and like things are gonna circulate and just not go well for Candace. But who do
agreed.
you think is going to make it through? Like, who do you think is not going to make it through the next episodes? Obviously, we know Kristen, Eric, Ron, and maybe two others are probably gonna be up for the next banishment. Unless those two others include a traitor. We need to look up who those are.
Yeah.
Um,
I have it in my notes. I think at the next kill is gonna end up being Eric. I think out of the people that were remaining, it makes the most sense for him to be cut off.
He's gotten the most airtime out of I mean, Ron's gotten some just because of
Mhm.
the Donna thing. Kristen has gotten some, but I think Eric and Kristen are about neck and neck with airtime.
Kristen is a Bravo celebrity. So,
Mhm.
in my mind, she is grouped in right with the
With the
housewives.
housewives, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for the housewives to kill off Kristen. Um,
Nobody knows who Eric is.
yeah, nobody knows who Eric is. It's he makes the most sense for this particular kill. Um, what I think is gonna happen from this point forward, I think we are gonna continue to see the gamers get picked off at murders. I think, and then at banishments, it's gonna be the others, the randoms, the ones that aren't
Unless the
housewives and
gamers get
aren't gamers.
safety. Natalie,
Mhm.
if the safety depends on physical comps, at this point, if Natalie's smart, she will make sure that she keeps her fellow gamers safe.
I just don't think they are going to be able slash allowed slash whatever. Like, I don't think
Mhm.
there's gonna be enough safety to cover everyone. And I think especially if you notice that Natalie's name isn't on there every time, the first time it is, you gotta get rid of her when you can.
Yeah. I think
unfortunately.
we will lose at least one more gamer, and then I think 2 gamers will do everything in their power to stay together and to stay through. And I think we will see maybe 2 gamers make it to about mid-game. That's my prediction. But I do think, and if we see one go, it's either gonna be Tiffany or Jam Jam, unfortunately. I'm
Okay.
leaning towards Jam Jam based on the things that I saw Tiffany say to Brittany in her Patreon because she felt very she kept saying, like, "I had a lot of fun." Like, she kept really, like, emphasizing what a great time she had playing the Traitors, and it was giving, "Okay, she lasts a while."
Okay.
But I could be reading that incorrectly, I don't know.
You know what? I saw stuff from Natalie that made me believe that she doesn't last that long, and I'm like, "Hey, we're on episode 3, Natalie's still there, so I'm happy."
Valid, yeah. And Natalie, they could go after her, but I think right now, because of Steven also suspected Jam Jam. So if Rappaport is saying it, Steven's also agreeing with it. He may get some votes at the next round table, but I guess we'll all have to stay tuned and see what happens.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Well, I will see you next week or whenever you're coming back. I don't know. I'll have to look at the schedule, but I will see you whenever I see you. I'll see you on TikTok either way.
See you on TikTok.